motherfucking yeah!
Happy birthday, Santa Claus. The NFL regular season is almost over, and if you want to know why the NFL is truly better than all those other major U.S. sports leagues, it's because every season provides new hope for previously bastardized teams. For 36 straight years, there are at least 4 playoff teams who are not playoff teams the year prior. Right now, there are 5 such teams, and if Carolina gets in, that will be 6. If Indy makes it, somehow 7. Last week, the curse wheel delivered one of its most improbable wins and took down the Rams in overtime. I will spin that wheel at the end of the Power Ranked episode to see which team it cursed. But first, we're going to the healing lights of heaven, where I am placing the Colts' playoff chances, which after starting 8-2 are somehow worse than getting hit by a firework at a Ravens game. I think football fans deserve to hear Phillip Rivers at the line of scrimmage for one playoff game.
And he was able to get the ball to Taylor for a first down.
In purgatory, I've got Trayvon Diggs, who admitted that he got concussed while trying to be a handyman and mount his TV on his ceiling in week 2. I have never related to an NFL player more, if I'm being honest. And in hell, Chiefs fans. And no, it's not for the Mahomes and Gardner Minshew injuries, but because the team is moving to Kansas. Now, some of you are learning at this exact moment that the Chiefs play in Missouri and not Kansas, and that's because you didn't pay attention in geography. Kansas City is, of course, both in Missouri and Kansas, and the Chiefs plan to build a new dome stadium on the Kansas side. This has a lot of Chiefs fans upset, which makes me very happy. Arrowhead Stadium, though, it's an iconic NFL landmark, and seeing that godforsaken team play anywhere else is not gonna feel right. Also, watching the great people of Missouri argue with the great people of Kansas about which state is better is funny. Coming in at 14, I've got the Panthers. There's only one Panther with more than 350 receiving yards right now, and that is Teteroa McMillan. The rookie is 66 yards away from 1,000. He's played all 15 games. He's been really their only reliable playmaker in the passing game, and he's got the best odds to win Rookie of the Year in what's been a fairly weak class on that side of the ball. If he breaks 1,000, he'd be the first 1,000-yard Panthers receiver since Adam Thielen back in 2023. The weirdest 1,000-yard Panthers receiver is, of course, Robbie Chosen, who did that in 2020 alongside DJ Moore. The Panthers played the Seahawks this week. I don't like their chances to win that one, but it doesn't really matter because they closed the season in Tampa, and a win there gets them into the playoffs. However, Carolina, if you defeat the Seahawks, I will acknowledge the Carolina Reaper as a real demonic force to be reckoned with. Number 13, the Eagles. What spurred the Eagles' great turnaround? Was it that they played the Raiders and the Commanders in back-to-back weeks? Maybe, but I choose to believe it was the death of the pagan icon in their locker room, otherwise known as the Positivity Rabbit. My wife has a Positivity Rabbit, but that's because I'm a terrible lover. If the Eagles beat the Bills this week, I might consider them legit. Did a white corner make the Pro Bowl? You're goddamn right one did, and his name is Cooper DeJean. Alongside his partner Quinion Mitchell, they have both been named NFC Pro Bowlers. Cam Jurgens, Zach Bond, and Jalen Carter also made the cut. My thought is Jordan Davis actually has been better than Jalen Carter on the defensive line this season for the Eagles. Davis has more pressures, sacks, and has been healthy all season. Am I wrong, Eagles fans? I know you're shy and overly polite, so try to get outside of your comfort zone and let me know in the comments if Jordan Davis got snubbed. Today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks and the 7 days of Pixmas. Prize Picks will have a max discount available for you to play on Christmas. I got a little crazy with my picks for the Broncos-Chiefs game for their Christmas battle, but we are now 25 signups away from hitting my next bonus from Prize Picks, and it would be cool to get a Christmas bonus this year. Again, Prize Picks has donated over $14,000 to the charity that I'm raising money for on Christmas Day during my stream. That charity is Solving Kids Cancer. So if you support Prize Picks by using my code TGS when you sign up, you're supporting a company that's made the single biggest donation for a charity that I support, and I think that's pretty cool, and it's why I'm happy to be working with Prize Picks all year. Coming in at 12, the Texans. Now you're going to have some clunkers in the middle of a 7-game win streak, and the Texans did lay a bit of a egg against the Raiders, but the sign of a good team is one that can still win on an off day. My Broncos did the exact same thing against Vegas, so I'm on your side, Houston. The Texans are now 10-5, the third straight season with double-digit wins, and they have a chance to tie a franchise record if they can win out in the regular season. I think Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter are the best corner duo in the AFC right now. Stingley has 4 picks this season. He's had at least 4 for the last 3 straight seasons, plus a defensive touchdown this year. Lassiter also has 4 picks this season and 16 passes defended, a career high in his sophomore year. My only concern for Houston is the run defense that suddenly gave up 145 yards to the Raiders. That dropped them down to 4th in the league. Again, I think it's an outlier. And of all of the playoff teams, the Texans have had the hardest schedule this year. Number 11, I got the Packers. The Packers are 0-2 in games that they didn't punt this season. The rest of the league is 8-0. The good news, Green Bay, is I have an easy fix. Just start your game with a 3-and-out on Sunday, punt the ball, and it's in the bag. The biggest problem for the Packers right now is that their injury report is 19 players deep, but they still have 2 winnable games against the suddenly reeling Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Love is in concussion protocol but was limited in practice. Malik Willis banged up his shoulder, also limited. Adam Schefter noted one of those quarterbacks should be able to play on Sunday. Lamar Jackson has a back injury, so we could get Malik Willis versus Tyler Huntley, which would be fun, as I thought both of those backups did a nice job filling in for the starters last weekend despite their teams losing. Number 10, the Steelers. The fate of the Pittsburgh Steelers now lies in the hands of a 42-year-old quarterback whose new top receiver is 35-year-old Adam hooked on a Thielen. DK Metcalf suspended the rest of the regular season, and their second leading wide receiver is Calvin Austin, who has just 317 yards. Fortunately for them, all they need to clinch the AFC North is a win or a Ravens loss, which seems doable enough. TJ Watt is still recovering from his collapsed lung, but has a chance to play this week. The Steelers have won 3 in a row, and Aaron Rodgers is playing pretty damn good football right now. I'm starting to think they can win a playoff game, but only if they remember to lean on Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, who destroyed the Lions. The crazy part of the DK Metcalf suspension is that it's going to void $45 million in future guarantees for the receiver. Now, I mentioned the DK situation in winners and losers, but one more video has been posted since. The new one shows the fan who got punched or swiped at yelling, "That was the goal," after the incident. This situation continues to just get a little more weird with every nugget that comes out. Look, if you go to a game as a fan with your goal being that, you shouldn't be allowed to go to a game with that loser-ass mentality. That fan should be banned, and DK should have known to just stay the fuck away, and his suspension, I think, is still just because, again, we haven't seen a video to confirm DK's claims about the fan yelling the big no-no words. But let's end on a positive note. How cute is it that if the Packers win, Aaron Rodgers gets into the playoffs? It's adorable. Number 9, I got the Bills. The Bills have quietly won 4 in a row. Who would have thought that with the way Jonathan Taylor started the season, that James Cook would lead the NFL with over 1,500 rushing yards by week 17? The Bills have 24 rushing touchdowns between their running back and their quarterback, who each have 12. The Bills still have a path to the 1 seed, actually. It involves 2 Buffalo wins, a Denver loss, a Patriots loss, a Jags loss, and a Chargers loss to the Texans.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
If none of those things happen, we could very well be seeing the final 2 games at Highmark Stadium coming up. I really hope it snows in that case. Oh, and Joey Bosa, he may only have 5 sacks this season, but he's generated 45 QB pressures and has made enough impactful plays this season that I have to give him props. His 45 pressures are the most he's had since 2021, as are his 5 forced fumbles. Most importantly, he's only missed 1 game this season. And based on production, Joey Bosa has been an upgrade over Von Miller. Excuse me while I go throw up after saying that. Ah! Okay. Number 8, the Rams. The Rams took one of the biggest gut punches of the season. They played near perfect on offense, scored a touchdown in overtime, and went from the 1 seed in the entire NFC down to a wild card following a Seattle 2-point conversion. The NFL, though, is brutal and unforgiving, and they're not just a wild card. After the 49ers Monday night win, they're now in 3rd place in their own fucking division. You really can't blink for a second in the NFL this year, or someone will be there to usurp you. Just ask Daniel Jones. If it's any consolation, I don't think Matthew Stafford lost the MVP last week. He's got a league-leading 40 touchdowns. He's got the most passing yards, the lowest interception rate, the best quarterback rating, and he's leading the top scoring offense in football. I know Drake Maye has been great, but Stafford deserves this one. Number 7, the Chargers. In a great twist of irony, the man who actually cemented the Chargers spot in the playoffs was none other than their old quarterback, Phillip Rivers. I was wondering how the Chargers would figure out how to protect Justin Herbert without Joe Alt. Well, first of all, they've won 5 of 6 games without him, and after getting sacked 17 times in 5 games without Alt, they just made it through a full game against Dallas without Herbert hitting the deck. Now, we'll see if that holds true when the Chargers play the Texans this weekend. Houston, with their 41 sacks, is tied with the Lions and Rams for the 6th most in the league. It would be a good week to increase Omarion Hampton's touches. He's coming off his best game since September. Hampton hasn't had more than 19 carries in a game this season, but 24 against the Texans, like Ashton Genty had, would provide for a very fun first-round running back comp. The No Fun League has suspended Chargers linebacker Denzel Perryman for 2 games because he hits too hard. This means Troy Dye's role is going to increase. Now, Dye's played in nearly 400 snaps already this season, so I think LA is going to be fine.
And I would like to ask everybody to subscribe to That's Good Sports.
Coming in at 666, it's the Seahawks. Easily the team with the most devil magic this week. The Seahawks gave me a defective quarterback in Russell Wilson, and I repaid you by cursing the Rams for you. I feel like you owe me about 1,000 Prize Picks sign-ups, Seattle Seahawks fans. I'm really happy Sam Darnold got that dub. He would have been crucified this week had he not. My question becomes this. Now that Sam Darnold got that Rams monkey off his back, can he just play solid football moving forward? The turnovers for the Seahawks offense is a real fucking problem. Seattle, Denver, and San Francisco are the only playoff teams with a negative turnover differential this season. All 3 of them are -4 on the season. Unlike the 49ers, Seattle and Denver don't have an excuse. 14 picks and 12 fumbles this year for Seattle. The good news is 6 of those interceptions have come against just the Rams. The bad news is you might have to play the Rams again in the playoffs at some point. Now, Brock Purdy tossed 5 touchdowns against that Colts defense that Indy played last week, where Sam Darnold threw 0. So it's time to step the hell up, Sammy. Number 5, the 49ers. Damn, the Niners look good. Brock Purdy doesn't just beat teams, he wrecks them. Out of his 29 career wins, 23 of them have come by a double-digit margin. So Purdy is Purdy good. He's ahead of the pack on that stat by a wide margin. Based on quarterback play this week alone, Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence look like the 2 best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And if Stafford had the balls to play defense, I'd also say him as well. But the 49ers are averaging 34.4 points per game over their last 5 games. George Kittle injured his ankle Monday night during his season-high 115-yard performance. This was his comment on his ankle sprain after the game.
Concern level? I don't think it's a high ankle sprain, so, we'll take it one day at a time, and we'll go from there.
So I'm guessing he's going to be okay. Christian McCaffrey now has the third most scrimmage yards per game all time, trailing just Barry Sanders and Jim Brown. That number went up after he put up 146 on the Colts. He also tied Marshall Faulk for most receiving touchdowns for a running back with his 36th on his second score against Indy. I think we've gotten to the point where we take for granted just how good Christian McCaffrey is, and that's the best compliment you can pay a running back in his 10th season. Number 4, the Broncos. I think the media has ultimately done a decent job at not overreacting to the Broncos losing one of their last 12 games. The focus is always on Bo Nix and how he performs week to week, but the one thing that actually concerns me is that the Broncos defense has dropped from 4th in EPA per play to 22nd in EPA per play over the last 4 weeks. It really seems that the Commanders, most notably Cliff Kingsbury, who used to employ Vance Joseph, might have actually laid out some kind of blueprint for attacking Denver's defense, because we haven't seen the same unit over the last month of the season. Their performance against the Jaguars wasn't just the worst of the season, it's the exact number of points they surrendered to the Chargers December 19th, about 1 year ago exactly. The Jags were able to scheme players wide open too easily, and for the first time this season, the Broncos' tackling was abysmal. I pray that those are 2 correctable things. Please, let those be correctable. Number 3, the Patriots. Stephon Diggs is 131 yards away from becoming the first Patriot receiver with 1,000 receiving yards since Julian Edelman, all the way back in 2019. I think the fact that no Patriots have 1,000 yards already is a testament to Drake Maye spreading the ball around. 5 Patriots have at least 400 receiving yards. Some teams only have 1. Maye's favorite receiver appears to be the open one. And as we head into week 17, Drake Maye is still completing over 70% of his passes, best in the league. I have talked about the Pats' run defense taking a step back without Milton Williams, but not having linebacker Robert Spillane the last 2 games has been equally crushing. Spillane was a great free agent addition this offseason, and as someone who watched him play really well on a dogshit Raider team, I was happy he left the AFC West. He's the Pats' leading tackler and could be back this week, maybe. Yes, he's the leading tackler even after missing 2 games. Number 2, the Bears. Much like a few of the other QBs from 2024, Caleb Williams appears to play his best football in the clutch. 16 total touchdowns and just 3 picks. That's the biggest reason the Bears have won 6 games when trailing in the final 2 minutes, the most of any team in over 4 decades. Unfortunately, they didn't lock anything up last Sunday, and they still have 2 extremely tough games, one against the red-hot 49ers and a season finale against a Lions team that you know is going to play hard regardless of whether or not they're in the playoff race at that point. And Bears fans have given their team the nickname the Cardiac Bears, and for the first time, it's not because all of their fans are dying from heart attacks due to poor diet like in that timeless SNL sketch.
You okay, Dad?
And yes, coming in at number 1, the Jaguars, dethroning last week's number 1 team. During the Jaguars' 6-game win streak, they've been outscoring their opponents by 18.8 points per game. Just for reference, the 2024 Jaguars only scored 18.8 points per game for the season. That's the Liam Cohen effect. Now, I've noted that Trevor Lawrence stopped making mistakes, 12 touchdowns, 0 picks in the last 4 games, but what's more impressive is he's been flawless on 3rd down. QBR is kind of a cat shit metric, but his QBR on 3rd down in the last 3 games is 99.9, 99.9, and 96.5. That's why Jacksonville is winning so decisively. T. Lawless now has the 4th most passing touchdowns in the league, the 9th most passing yards, and still number 1 for longest goddamn hippie-ass hair. And since you guys were so whiny about Sean Payton's small market team comment, I'll say this. You're a big market team now. You're a big market number 1 team in the power rankings, so let's see if you can defend this spot now that you have expectations. Because the challenge doesn't start until people believe in you. I know that. If the Jags do win the Super Bowl, it will all be because of the Jerry and Jones hurdle. This hurdle position will replace the Super Bowl logo colors as the greatest indicator of who wins the big game. And now we spin the curse wheel. It can't keep getting away with it, can it?
That's Good Sports. It's on YouTube. Check it out.
Ah, darn. Rats. I'll fix it next week. Here we go. And don't forget to use my code TGS at PrizePicks. Those signups make a huge difference here on That's Good Sports. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to get here, Curse Wheel? I really spun that one, huh, guys? Ooh, 3. Wow, just right, look at right in the middle of 3. Who did I put at 3? Who did I put at 3? It's the Patriots. Wow. Wow-wee. They play the Dolphins and the Jets. No way are the Patriots losing. This is the week people say you have lost your magic touch. You're welcome, Buffalo, I guess. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here.
Snack bar, Lambeau Field. I was scalded by the cheese of a flaming hot nacho.
And thank God I moved the Broncos into the 4 spot, because that side, I originally had the Broncos at 3, and I flip-flopped the Broncos and the Pats last minute.